Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Kevin hitting you with another mini review. So today I want to talk about Blonde. So I just want to give you kind of my overall thoughts real quick. I don't want to be too long on this. But as y'all know, I watched this over the weekend. And before I watched the movie, there were like a lot of headlines out there saying this movie's terrible, it's disgusting, it's sexist, it's one of the worst movies they've seen in a long time. And so I was like, oh, snap. Okay, well, let me go ahead and try to watch like a documentary or just read a little bit or watch some interviews on Marilyn Monroe before I watch this, because I don't want this movie to steer me the wrong way, right? Let me know a little bit about her real quick. So I posted something asking y'all what's something to watch. Luckily, I was pointed to a documentary to watch before this. It's on Netflix. Y'all can check it out. But I watched that, and then I watched Blonde, and man, were they right. This movie is not good. And I mean, I don't have too much as far as like investment in Marilyn Monroe and on how I feel about her, but I can tell you right now, this is just not the way to do a movie. The director, Andrew Dominic, I was curious to see what he was going to do with this because I'm not familiar with him as a director. I wanted to see his style. And also, I was looking forward to this movie. This one, Elvis, I didn't know that much about Elvis Presley either. So I was looking forward to watching that and learning more about Elvis. And I learned about him. And I thought it was good that they dived into that the way they did. Here, this was just wrong. This was tragic event after tragic event, trauma after trauma after trauma. It was very one-sided. It was very sexist. They exploited her pretty bad. Ana de Armas, I feel bad for you as well. She was exploited doing this role. Also, this theme on the whole anti-abortion theme, I thought that was just, like, what are we doing here? Like, and especially in this climate, what we're doing right now, what are you doing? Now, the good thing about this movie that I can say, really my only positives, obviously, is Ana de Armas. Her performance is off the charts. I thought she did great. She really, you could tell she put her heart and soul into this. Also, I do like some of the cinematography, the choices that was made as far as the black and white to color, the aspect ratio from full screen to letterbox. That stuff was cool, but then they kept doing it throughout the entire movie, and I'm like, I get it. So you're doing this as a distraction because you're distracting me from the fact that you ain't got nothing going on in this movie other than the BS that you're giving me. And I think that as a filmmaker, you have to be careful how you portray people, right? Especially somebody who Hollywood adores. I don't even know how this got greenlit in the first place, but like, I think that even if you don't like Marilyn Monroe, it shouldn't be 100% obvious that you just don't give a damn about her, because that's the way this came off. I think as a good filmmaker, you have to make a movie that's not too biased. You have to put the good, the bad, the ugly. You have to put it all together. And I think that just based off of the interviews I saw, the documentary that I saw, and just things I've read about her, she was a complex woman, and she had a lot of different layers to her, and you didn't peel back any layers. All you did was sexual assault after sexual assault, early childhood abuse, the JFK stuff. I mean, come on, man. And then the abortion stuff. It just was too much. The miscarriages. It's just everything was going bad for her. And don't get me wrong. Like, it's not even just the fact that there's trauma in this movie. Like, I'll give you a movie that I really like, Gia with Angelina Jolie. I think that's Jolie's probably best performance ever. I think it's a phenomenal movie, and it is hard to watch. It is tough. It's sad, but there are moments that are good, and you feel the good, and it leads up to the trauma, and it ends sad, but you feel it, and you feel like it was worth the journey. This was not worth the journey at all. I was halfway through the movie, and I was trying to figure out if I want to keep watching this, because not only was it just trauma, but it was boring. The only way you could keep me entertained was by just changing the way the scenes look. That's not good enough, man. I feel like this was a one-note symphony, and there just wasn't enough going on with this movie. And I just feel like for somebody who's adored by Hollywood and everybody else, you got to do better than that. This was bad. So I'm going to give this a 4 out of 10. I don't recommend, but watch it at your own caution. Peace, everybody.